guys, welcome back to the channel. There have been quite a few developments since our last upload. I have since moved and set up a miniature recording studio, and another development is the topic of today's video, the HK VP9. But as always, before we begin, be sure to like and subscribe. Keeps content like this for rolling through, and thank you for all your patience. So the HK VP9. It is a polymer-framed, semi-automatic striker-fired handgun chambered in 9x19mm parabellum. The VP9 was designed at the request of the Bavarian State Police to replace the P7, and due to H&K's previous success with designing pistols like the USP and the P30, they decided to set forth with what was essentially a striker-fired version of P30. The pistol was in production for about 4 years until it was finally rolled out in 2014, and originally it was called the P30X due to it sharing essentially the same frame but a different upper. But for the US market, it was changed to the VP or Volkspistole 9. As is the channel's custom, we're going to go from tip to butt, just the way the Navy likes it. I'm kidding, I love you guys. But anyways, we're going to start with the barrel. So the barrel is a hammer forged polygonal design, and what that means is hammer forging makes a barrel tougher and prolongs its life, so you're going to be able to fire more rounds through it, and the polygonal design allows for more gases to escape from the muzzle as opposed to them just blowing out the side. And the H&K VP9 only has a 4.1 inch barrel, so those propellant gases escaping behind the round give the bullet more velocity than if it was just fired out your average run-of-the-mill barrel. Moving up to the slide sports the pistol name and caliber and has cocking serrations in both the front and the back, so you can do your little tactical press checks just like your favorite basement operators. And what's interesting to note is that HK included these 2 extended cocking serrations in the back to make it easier to rack it, like so. And although I'm sure me and many of you other guys out there are just racking a pistol normally, I can see these extended serrations working for people who are new to handguns or new to the gun in general, and maybe even those who have suffered from hand injuries. The sights on the pistol, as is the custom for most HK pistols, are your standard Tridot Novak sights, but the Germans put their own little flair on them that just somehow makes them easier to use than ones that you would find on, say, a 1911 or a Glock or a SIG. And they make for a incredibly easy sight picture and extremely quick target acquisition, so just fucking love HK sights. The frame is made out of a reinforced polymer, and it starts with a standard 1913 Picatinny rail to mount any accessories that you want, and it moves down to what I think is one of the best pistol grips, in my opinion. For some reason, the Teutonic design of German handguns has the contours of the grips just right, and the back spur just right enough to fit my hand extremely well. And even for those of you out there with giant hands, HK's VP9 and other pistols come with a full complement of back straps and side panels to allow you to customize the handgun to your needs. Moving on to the controls, the VP9 is a fully ambidextrous sidearm. It sports the signature H&K paddle release. So if I press it from this side, it works. If I press it from the other side, it works. And I do like the paddle release a little bit more than your average button press, depending on the firearm, because it's easier to just simply move your hand in downward motion instead of shifting your grip and pressing inwards with your thumb. The slide lock is made of 2 individual parts that both perform the same function. One of them is your average Glock or SIG style slide stop. So if I rack it back and lock it just like this, and what I like about it is that it is slightly recessed. So even if I'm shooting the handgun, I'm not riding on the slide stop itself, and it won't become accidentally engaged when the gun is empty. And on the other side is more of a lever affair, similar to the P30, and it is easily accessible just by moving your thumb up. They are both in the same position and make for fast reloads with either hand. So when it comes to ergonomics and controls, VP9's got it in the bag. Last but not least is the trigger, and the HK fanboys out there are probably going to be clutching their hearts and probably on life support after this. But HK triggers are one of my biggest pet peeves, but are definitely not the worst triggers I've encountered. So let's go with the little ASMR here. So I'm going to depress the safety lever on the trigger, start squeezing it just ever so slightly. It's about a couple millimeters of light play. Then we're getting into a bit of the mush, hitting the wall. There's that break. It's about a 5.4 pound pull. Rack it, and all right, let's reset. So sort of a mushy reset with a bit of spring at the end, but definitely a pretty clean trigger nonetheless. And that's it. The VP9 is an excellent handgun. It's very ergonomic and capable, and I would 100% recommend it to anyone who's looking to get their start in shooting and who's willing to pay the price, or for those of you more experienced shooters out there who are looking for something a little bit different. It is relatively easy to conceal carry as well, due to it having just a 4.1 inch barrel, and you can still make some pretty quick and pretty aggressive shots with it. Now, full disclosure, I was not paid by HK to do a review. I had to supply the pistol and ammunition with my own hard-earned money, and this is just a pure unbiased opinion on the handgun itself. For those of you who are wanting to buy one, if you want to, go for it. You can always resell it later down the line and stock up on those pizza rolls that you were missing out on. But guys, I got nothing else for you. Get out there and go train, and I'll see you in the next video.